variations of that game. There's not, there are people who really like sprint car racing. There's people who really like NASCAR racing. There's a lot of people who like IndyCar racing, sports car racing. And instead of a cumulative audience, it's been partitioned up. And I think, because I don't know how many people out there watch every form of motorsports there is. If there's an IndyCar racing or a stock car fan, you watch it. You
If it's on, I want to see what's going on.
But I think the point is it's very difficult for the sport as a whole to really grow when you have all this division in it, because everybody just starts promoting their own specific area rather than the sport itself.
You wouldn't do that with your mom, Tell the truth.
I'm not a promoter, so I'm not brave enough to be a promoter, but I think that's the problem that exists. When you go to let's say you go to Europe, I live there, and the forms of racing there are a lot fewer than they are here. And consequently, the following of each of those types of racing is bigger. There's rallying. They don't really have off-road racing. They don't really have, and they have motorcycle racing, which is huge. Formula One, the various other little formula categories, and that's it. You don't have modified, you don't have sprint cars, you don't have midgets, you don't have stock cars, you probably got half as many. And I think that probably constrains the growth of the sport here. Forgetting the fact that I think most people who report on sports are stick and ball types. They don't come from a racing background. They come from playing little league, baseball, football, basketball, whatever. That's what they know. So that's what they report on.
All of which is conveniently supported by tax money through the school systems, which is an advantage that racing is never going to have. And those homogenous sports that he described, every kid grows up with them because it's available at school. Racers again are outside the mainstream because we're not part of that system. The other thing about as far as the TV thing is concerned, it's kind of a good news, bad news thing. I'm probably going to talk a little out of school, but the ratings for racing on speed are lower than the ratings for stuff like the tow truck show. It's a sad reality, but it's the reality. And so that's what the deal is. That's what the network's job is, to get people to sit and click up our channel. And so people complain and bitch about the DNA of the network and all the rest of that. That becomes an increasingly difficult argument to make if you put racing on and people don't watch it. Goes to the fragmentation. How many road racers watched Thursday night? I don't know. But it becomes an economic game, and the key to the game, in the Lucas Oil example is a very good example, is now a sponsor looks at the potential audience and says, and maybe it is the different game. What's changed is the distribution system. We've gone from three big channels to the 500 channel universe with the internet about to explode that whole model as well. There are so many ways to find what you want to watch, and the inverse of that is so many ways for a sponsor to get their message to their audience. So Lucas Oil can just say, hey, we want to reach these people here, and this is the kind of racing activity that we think works. So we'll sponsor the series, or we'll go to the track, we'll do whatever we have to do to create a television show that people can watch. It's very different from what was the model for the Thunder show, and it's one that smart people will exploit, and that will in fact increase the amount of racing, the net amount of racing on television, even though 90% of it